know a lot of you were thinking about jackets and lapels last semester. Now you understand why I didn't go there yet. It has to do more with the level of construction, and that's why I also try to teach it this semester. So, a few pointers for anyone that's confused on how to attach the collar. Maybe I went a little too fast. You make the line on the length, meaning, you see here? And that's your center back, guys. And you pin it, and then you make that 2-inch line from the bottom, and that's your neckline. That's your collar neckline. That's where you stitch it. Now, you pin that first, and when you're pinning it, you're gonna fold it over. What most people get really confused on, they start pulling this so much so that they start shifting the center back. That's when it gets a little confusing. So for now, we start doing this, and then what we do is, you see this line of the neckline? We start pinning it to that collar, to that neckline from the front, because we marked the neckline. Remember that? That neckline marked at the front is going to match with this line from the collar. So far, so good? Okay. Remember, nothing needs to be super precise because you need to true it still. So once we pin that, we're gonna fold the center back like so, matching our lines. And this is when you decide how heavy, how wide you want your back collar. Now, I don't think I need that much for my style. It's up to you. This is where I'm at. This is pinned. You can see that it's pinned. It's loosely pinned. Now the fabric is gonna fight you. That's when you start slashing. May I get scissors, please? Those scissors are fine. And that's why I slashed it. You're gonna slash specifically on the shoulder, because the fabric is not gonna, it's gonna fight you regardless. Okay? So then you can see naturally it's just falling where it needs to fall. This is also when the part is, now you might be asking me, but Professor, if this little line that we marked in a neckline is the center front, where do I notch it? That's up to you. You're not going all the way into the collar, into the lapel, I mean. Usually, you're not making the notch or where it separates by the center, what was center front. You see that? That was center front. That's when they start. You can even decide to do it closer, more like you can decide to do it here and then bring the collar up. That's up to you. Notch, the width of your notch is up to you. If you wanna, you see how I decided to bring it only to that center front line that was in the neckline. And then I decided that I don't want it, I want it to be rounded corners. That's my decision. Your decision as well. You don't have to do rounded corners. You can do pointy corners, you can do wavy corners, I don't care. I just need a notch. Okay? Okay. So if I were to do, it's the same way. Let me give you more visual. Does that make sense now? Where I folded it? And then I can even make it smaller. There you go. You can see how I folded it right now. Hold on a second. You see that? I just made it really small. It's up to you where it is, but you have to remember, this notch where they are together cannot be all the way inside. That's not a lapel at that point. You're changing the whole construction. It's up to you where you want it, okay? Do not pass the center front mark though. Okay, that's why I kept telling you to mark it. Now, we have our lapel break. We can do it. Now, for our time constraints, I'm gonna cut it on the dress form already. Actually, no, I'm gonna do this the right way because I don't want you to get confused. So I'm gonna see where my break is here. You see how much is puckering? And I'm just gonna mark it. It's a very, very easy draft, guys. It's not. And maybe I'm just gonna change my collar shape a little bit so it lays better.
I like color brand.
And then make sure that you kind of notch where your shoulder is falling. You're not gonna be sewing to the shoulder. It just shows you how to put it back. That's all you're doing. And then if I'm doing that, I am making sure this is gorgeous. Okay, I have changed the angle. The break of my notch break is a lot wider. You can do 1/2 inch, you can do 1 inch. I just decided to make it more like a 40s kind of thing. So then I am gonna take this out of the mannequin. Bloop. And you're gonna see exactly how it looks like. Look, lapel is right here. It doesn't look like much when you take it out, but you see the shape already. Okay, can I get the French curve, please? Someone? So what we're gonna do is thank you. We're gonna true this. This is another thing too. A lot of the lapels are not just straight. They have curve into it. So mine's a little curvy. And then we just follow the curve along. You can give me Saturday Night Fever lapels. Okay. I just need to see a lapel. You use your French curve to do very tight curves. I do like the other French curve, but that's okay. And then, where's my ruler? Can I get my .C ruler, my square ruler, my graph ruler?
I stole it.
Thank you. I knew it. Okay. So then, you can see your color right here. We notched it exactly where we want. Thank you so much. Where we want it. You can see where my shoulder is at right here. And you can see the shape already because we also decided how much to fold, correct? So then, make sure you draw that center back line. Just follow along what you did. Always square off. Always square off, guys. Always square off. And always follow that line. So it's a clean line. Use your French curve. You see the difference now? It's looking like a real color. And you can draw the rest because maybe the French curve is not giving you the right situations. And then we make sure this is where my notch is going to be. And you can see I don't need that 2 inch. I don't need 2 inches anymore. Okay. Always mark everything that's needed. Where the heck is my shoulder? I think my shoulder's here. So then after that, we are just going to do 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, okay? Everything is 1/2 inch. And you're just gonna cut it. If you're not sure, just try your best, guys. This is not, I'm not grading this. I just need you to try. I'm gonna be torturing you the rest of the semester anyways. All of you need to do your collections. So remember to always slash, because it's a rounded, mine is really rounded. Some of you might just want very straight edge lapels, and that's okay too. It's about what you want. You can see, like you can even slash a little bit of the neckline too, like here, so it's easier for you to put it on. And you can see exactly where I'm gonna connect my notch. You see that? I made a little notch, and that's where I'm connecting my color. And you can do it just on top of each other, because you're gonna see it anyways. Yeah. So then we go here. Oh wait, I forgot to do this. I almost forgot, sorry. It's also 1/2 inch on the lapel. I also decided, I don't know if you guys saw me, not right now, but I did it in the other lesson. This is when you also start rounding. Oh, actually, let me put it more perky. There you go. This is when you start rounding. If you want to round your bottom, I'm rounding out my bottom right now too. You can start even opening it up if you want to. You do whatever you want. I'm not stopping you. You decide what size your button you want. You decide how many buttons you want to. Maybe it might break because my break is so small. At most, I think it's one button. Okay. And she is gonna look cute. Or maybe, you know what? I decided that she's gonna be more European. I want her to be a takeaway. So that means like it's one button, and it's a very, very, like it's a much bigger break. Okay, so what do you do with that? Remember, if this is your button, you still need seam allowance for your button, okay? So if that's the case, remember, you're not gonna cut all the way in. You need to, like, this is your button. Around here is gonna be your button. Okay, so that means that your seam allowance should be around here. I want you to use your creativity. Yes, you can make this jacket if you want. If you never made jackets before. Oh.
I wish you luck.
Hmm?
I wish them luck.
It's a lot of pieces, but it is gorgeous when you know how to do them. It will be fun, yeah.
It's so stressful.
It is very stressful, yes. So we're just gonna leave it there, okay? And for now, I'm just gonna cut it like this because we're not sure about our buttons for now. I think I'm just gonna do all of these things we create. Actually, you know what? Let me do a real breakaway, and that would be. Let's pretend I have 1 inch button.
What's happening?
I'm gonna do a breakaway. So in other words, it's not straight. I'm just gonna do a symmetrical.
What's not straight?
The center front.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because look, you see that?
The lapel down.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
You see that? Like, I decided to make one button, and that's why it's blending in. Everyone knows with jackets, you have facings.
Right, so the facing would be
Mhm.
the underneath.
Exactly.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then the button goes on top.
Exactly.
So then it would,
It will be a facing all around because of the shape here.
right, so it would go
And then,
to the shoulder.
mm-hmm. Exactly. And I know that's a lot of information, but we gotta learn how to tailor.
No, it's very important to learn that because when
Oh,
you're,
wait, that's the bottom of the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
because you did a,
I did a takeaway, a flyaway. So in other words, you can make your buttons straight if you want. If it makes you happier that way, go for it. But I just want to show you how it is to round it out. I only want one button in mind, so I only have space for one. So just make sure that the space for my button is big enough.
so you would add a 1/2 inch to that.
Yeah, this is 1/2 inch already.
Oh,
Because
so
my
that's the
button,
seam-
yeah.
That's the seam
Mhm.
allowance already.
Yes, the seam allowance is here. You see that? So my button's about like 3/4, 3/4 button, 3/4 to 5/8. It's not that big because it's a woman's jacket, so I can get a. With men's, you cannot do that.
No, I know, that's what I was saying.
With men's, you cannot. Okay, with men's, it's very different proportions. You cannot give me like a tiny little flight. No, it needs to be a lot longer too. It's a different ball game with men's. Okay.
If we have boobs and men don't, why is theirs bigger?
Why? Because that's traditionally, that's why. Menswear is very
The
traditional.
silhouette is that.
It's very traditional. Like someone shows up, a guy will shows up with a short jacket. It's like,
weird.
where's the rest
That's
of it?
me. That's what you know. You have to
Yeah,
know
but
me.
at the same, no, but I'm talking about traditional. Now, if you're gonna do like, I think Valmont did a whole collection that it needs to be, it's hard to make something luxe with those type of proportions. Not saying it's not available, it's just a hard. But how you do that, and the tailor needs to be impeccable.
Savile knows.
Yeah, it needs to be,
Savile Row,
yeah, the
For
Savile
real.
Row for sure.
Dreams.
right?
Yes,
That's
so
what I would like, yeah.
it's like, it needs to be impeccable, so impeccable that no one questions you. Same thing, so I don't think you guys, with men's also, since they wear, think about it. What men's wear for menswear is very cemented in tradition. It's like if you get invited to a wedding and they tell you white tie, that means with tails. If you don't show up with tails,
You're not, right.
you, yeah, so you have to show
Serve
up
the
with,
shrimp.
yeah, exactly, with tails, that you have to show up with tails because that's the dress code.
White tie, yeah.
Or opera shoes. Like it's very, very cemented in tradition. Not saying that you have to do it all the time, but that's usually the case. Okay? And you see how it looks very different now. She makes more sense. She's looking better now. I know before you're like, what the heck are we doing? But now, you see it. You see it. Ah, hi.
I get it.
Now you get it? Yeah, that's why.
Why she
So
has that break.
I know she was fighting me before, but she was fighting me because there was so much excess fabric. That's why she was fighting me. Now if she doesn't have excess fabric, she's good. Look at it. It folds better. Okay? And look at that. She's cuter now. She's like, I'm ready. That's where I want you to get to right now. Okay?